Hello viewers, welcome to our channel again. Today we have this math tutorial. A triangle has sides of length m minus n centimeters, m plus n centimeters, and 2 roots m times n centimeters. So we are to determine whether the triangle is right angled. This kind of problem is a problem that incorporates many branches of mathematics. We have there algebra, we have trigonometry, we have mensuration, and the likes. Let's get it started. To solve the problem, let's make a sketch of a right angle triangle and place the sides. Now, as it was said, it was just a rough sketch. To place the sides, looking at the three sides we are given, first and foremost, we know that the side m minus n can never be the hypotenuse if it is a right angle triangle. Then, the side m plus n is likely going to be the hypotenuse as it's bigger than the other sides. So the first side is 2 roots mn. Now, how do we test to know if the sides give the sides of a right angled triangle? We are going to be using the Pythagoras Theorem. Recall that the Pythagoras Theorem states that the square of the hypotenuse side must be equal to the sum of the squares of the opposite side and the adjacent side. So all we do here is find the sum of the squares of the opposite and the adjacent sides, then find the square of the hypotenuse side and compare. If they are equal, then it's a right angle triangle. If not, it is not a right angle triangle. So the sum of the squares of the opposite and adjacent sides will be m minus n all squared, then added to the square of 2 roots mn, and this is going to give us the m minus n squared is going to be m squared minus 2mn plus n squared, while the other one is going to be the square of 2 is 4, the square cancels the square root, so we have it as 4mn. Then grouping the like terms, we can have m squared minus 2mn plus 4mn is going to give us plus 2mn and plus n squared. That is the sum of the opposite and the adjacent side. We can actually factor this out. The first term is m squared, the square root of which is m. The last is n squared, the square root of which is n. And the middle term is the product of twice the product of m and n. So it's a perfect square, which is m plus n squared. If you have not seen a tutorial on how to factor quadratic expressions which factor out as perfect square, you can check the link in the description. We have a tutorial on it. Now this is the sum of the squares of the opposite and adjacent side. So let's put it as opposite squared plus adjacent squared. And this factors as m plus n squared. So let's try out the hypotenuse side. The hypotenuse side is m plus n, and when we square it, it is m plus n squared. That's the hypotenuse squared. Now the square of the hypotenuse is the same thing. So we can say that since m minus n squared plus the square of 2 roots m n is the same thing as the square of the hypotenuse side, then the triangle is right angled. We believe you have learned something about this. Please watch out for more of our tutorials by subscribing.